Hello, Mr. Fry's Algebra 2. This is the discriminant and quadratic formula quiz for March 5th, 2021. And I'm here to read this, give you some direction and clarifications, accommodations, what have you. Let's get started. Number one, describe how you can use the discriminant value to determine the amount of real or imaginary solutions to a quadratic equation. Looking back in notes, I took these just the other day. When you're looking at the discriminant with the quadratic formula, you might want to say something about if that value is greater than 0. Remember the two real solutions. If it's equal to 0, put it in your own words somehow. If it's less than 0, no real solutions, and this is where you get the imaginary solutions, the imaginary numbers, the solutions that are using imaginary numbers. Okay, so that would be helpful in number one in your description, and you're going to want to put that in your own words somehow. Utilize those notes. For number two, list the quadratic formula and the standard form of a quadratic equation. Okay, the standard form of a quadratic equation, you're kind of looking at it right down here, but there's letters that you put here, okay? So remember your ABCs, and it's just this first part right here. So you would put, you would have some letter and x squared plus some letter with an x plus that other letter, okay? And it's got to be equal to 0, okay? That's the standard form of the quadratic equation. And then that quadratic formula, if you rewind this video just a little bit ago, I showed that to you in my notes. That's what you're going to use to find the discriminant, okay? For number three, find the solutions to the quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So once again, back at the beginning of this, I showed you that in my notes. And so you're going to take, the b value. Make sure when you're doing that, if there's a negative here, you include the negative. And then you square it minus 4 times the a value, which is right here, times the c value. And then hit equals. If it's greater than 0, you got 2 real solutions. If it's equal to 0, you got 1 solution, real solution. If it's less than 0, you got 0 real solution. You're dealing with imaginary numbers. And then this one, determine the number of real and imaginary solutions for the quadratic equation. It's set to 0 already, so this is nice. So once again, you're going to use that formula that I showed at the beginning of this, and you're going to take, your b. Your b this time is just a regular 4, so you don't have to put negative in front of it. So it's 4. So you're going to take your b squared minus 4 times the a value times the c value. Now the c value has a negative with it. Okay. Then hit equals, and once again, if that is greater than 0, you get 2 real solutions. If it's equal to 0, you get 1 real solution. And if it is less than 0, you have 0 real solutions, and you're dealing with imaginary numbers. I hope this helped out, and good luck.